beautiful ones, and welcome to another Galactic Mayan Astrology report. So just so that you know, Galactic Mayan Astrology is also Dreamspell astrology, in case you didn't know that. So if you ever want to do some extra research and exploration of this incredible system, you can find it through both of those channels. So yeah, the 20th of August, we're just moving through the Lionsgate portal. We've just come through the central 13-day Wavespell process of the whole 9-month human being cycle. And we're obviously living in these incredibly potent end of time times. And the Wavespell that we're moving into is in the energy of yellow seed. So if you remember a little while ago, a few Wavespells before, we went through a 13-day process that had 13 back-to-back portal days. There are 2 of those Wavespells that have got so many portal days back-to-back. Yellow seed is the other one. So if you don't know what I'm on about when I say portal days, have a look at the other video that's on my channel called Portal Days, and that'll tell you all there is to know about them. But essentially, in a nutshell, it's when the dimensional separations are a little bit blurrier, so there's an ease in accessing greater levels of conscious awareness when we're in a portal day. So to have 13 of these days back to back is potent. So yellow seed is a yellow sign. The yellow signs are about flowering, they're about revealing. It's an opening process. And if you think about the journey of a seed is something that has a very hard shell that's planted in the ground, into the dark. So there's this real piece of yellow seed which is about the unknown and about trust. And we were taught to put our trust in humans. Human beings are flawed, and therefore we have all been betrayed. So we all have this really challenging relationship with trust. That's the truth of it. And what we do with that is that we project that into life. We project that into the mechanics of being able to trust our reality. But as is the case with the seed, there is something fundamentally inherent and innate within the seed and within life that pushes it to grow, through that hard shell. Now, there's nothing that we need to do to make a seed grow as a human being. We don't need to do anything other than to plant and to create the right conditions. But really, the biggest part of this process is mysterious. It's the infinite that really takes life, really creates with life. So within this 13-day process, as I say, it's another really potent journey, and often we start in the dark, we start in the unknown. But really what we're being asked to do at this time on planet Earth is to dismantle, de-weed, clear out, create space. We're not creating space for more human being egoic action. We're not creating the space for us to do anything. We're creating the space for life to come through us, for that uncorrupted life force energy, because it always is, to be channeled through an uncorrupted human. So as is always the case, we're journeying into personal development. We're journeying into a process of really working the ground, but also getting clear about what it is that we are wanting to create. And the best way that we can align with creation is to work in concepts, to work in archetypes, to work in feelings, as opposed to working in structure and working in, you know, specifics. We might want something. And what I've learned in the past year, I've been on a really big journey with manifestation this year. And what I've realised is that we literally can create anything. But what, and literally specifics, like I want this thing in that colour, that size, and it will come. But there's something around being able to keep it conceptual, which means that the soul is doing the creation, because we can align our human being ego to the law of attraction and manifestation and crack that and make it work. But there's something in allowing the greater part of us to be the one that is handling the specifics, that creates more space for soul, that creates more space for soul in our reality. Because at the end of the day, you know, we are within this human being archetype, this avatar, within this human being person that is here interacting with you. There's also a higher self. Now, this human being part of me is only able to perceive as much as my human being self can perceive. This part of me that is not held by the same laws is able to perceive a much greater perspective, a much greater understanding. It's infinite. And when we can surrender ourselves and surrender our need to control to that higher part of us, we're then bringing through something that is what we're all dreaming of, but can't yet really conceive. So this yellow seed journey is about being able to anchor these seeds of new awareness, being able to plant conceptually, getting clear about what is it that we want to be experiencing, how does it feel? How does it feel? What does it permit you to do? If you want that certain specific thing, what's actually underneath that? What is it on a feeling, on an experiential, energetic level? What is it that you're wanting to bring in more? What is the image, the feeling, as opposed to the specific? Can we plant with our awareness, with our conscious intent, without it being specific? Can we plant the seed of how it feels without knowing or needing it to grow into the specific flower that we desire? Because when we do that, we can literally manifest a flower that nobody has ever witnessed before. So there's this really beautiful process that we are invited into within the seed energy. And as I say, it's a very powerful journey. We're all really detangling everything at the moment that is to do with freedom. And with this time on the planet, everything, all of the injustice, all of the out of balance, all of the giving power away, all of the shit that's in the way of us plugging into our own source and moving through life from a liberated space accordingly is up at the moment. And that's ace, but it's painful, because for such a long time we have, as a collective, have been like, I can't deal with that, so I don't want to look at it. So I'm going to just keep living here because I don't want to go there. But now it's like this whole spectrum of our experience is being opened up and revealed, and it's a challenging process. It's a difficult process to wade through the out of balance ick and to handle the story around responsibility, to handle and cope with the feelings of victimization, to handle and cope with the ways in which we have been wronged, but equally the ways in which we have harmed. It's so uncomfortable to sit, even more uncomfortable to sit in the place of, oh, I really fucked up. than it is to be the one that's fucked over. Because the drive that comes with, you can't treat me like that, is a very there's a nourishing growth edge that comes with that defying, no, you can't do that anymore. But to be in that space of, oh no, I got that wrong, it's corroding, it feels difficult for the ego to accept, which means that, you know, we're constantly having to really gently navigate this time. And we're all doing it together, and we're all just as much in all of our different relations, in all of our different manifestations within our lives, we are equal part the good guy and the bad guy, because we're all part of the same thing. So we're really, really exploring, we're detangling, but this journey of the seed really gives us that space to... A friend of mine recently, that I've been journeying really deeply with, introduced me to this idea of just putting your arms up when you're in despair, when you're in challenge, it's like, I don't feel like I can handle this. Please support me. And when we do that, we receive it. So just keep in mind this idea of the seed journey. The seed's planted, but then there's something else that we can't control, we can't manipulate, we can't harness, that forces that push. It's the same shit that creates life everywhere on our planet. So we can leave it in the hands of that. So I hope that you have a beautiful Wavespell, and I will speak to you very soon. Take care, beautiful, beautiful people.